All right, thank you everyone for being here. It's nice to see all your smiling faces. We start a meeting every once in a while, ones that I have to meet all the time, and one particular person always says, "Thanks for coming, friends." Maybe today. No, I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate all the work that the administration and the administrators, and appreciate the work that you do. It's fantastic to be able to see our school moving in a direction that's been talked about and where we want to be. And I appreciate all that you guys, the work that you put into it. We have a fairly short agenda today, but we will start with our reports. I understand we have some visitors here with us, our student body, and look forward to hearing from you and getting reports. Go ahead and turn it over to whoever you would like.
Yeah, go ahead. So Casey High School, will have go ahead and do your report. And, Drew is out of town, and so Casey is stepping forward and brought Superintendent Report.
Okay, so if you guys don't know who he is, this is Chris Rodriguez. He is our ASB president, and so he's going to give us a quick clap for you. Oh. Yeah. He's going to give a report on our homecoming week, right, which we just finished up, and it just felt like it was yesterday that we finished, and I think it was almost yesterday, right? It's been a couple days, but anyway, he's going to give you the highlights and stuff that we kind of went over. And Chris, take it away.
All right, so basically our homecoming was, the theme was Corral the Coal Valley Chargers, which is, since we're going against Coal Valley. And on the first day we voted for homecoming king and queen court during our English periods, and that went fairly well, pretty efficient. And the top 5 were announced the following Thursday. And then we also had just like the week prior of the actual homecoming week, which is like all the students from each class just met up together and just got organized over just everything, like just floats, lip sync, everything, just all the fun activities for homecoming. And the first actual day of homecoming on October 6th, Monday, was our first dress up day, which was color wheel, where seniors wore black, juniors wore blue, sophomores wore white, freshmen wore green, and the faculty wore pink.
Yeah, thanks for that.
And then the class competition was a red light, green light, and a balloon relay, which is fairly popular, where it's just like you have a balloon, you try to pop it on another person, and if you don't know what red light, green light is, the kid game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also throughout all the days after school, each class would just like have random people go to their hallway and help decorate on their own free time, and which was great to see everybody come out and see the whole entire class, like from each class, participate and just decorate, just take time out of the day to help out with those. And also that day we had a lip sync practice, one like organized lip sync practice. Every single class did their own, but Clark and I think some other people help organize, set up the stage so people can have like an authentic like practice that day on the real stage before they went on the real stage on Wednesday. And then the next day, Tuesday, our dress up day was character/meme day, which was just dress up as any of your favorite character, memes, anything. Really just to express yourself. And I think that also went really great, which most people participated and had some creative ideas while doing it. And our class competition that day was ping pong box and musical chairs. And basically ping pong box was like a box full of ping pongs. You shook out the ping pongs, which way you could take it out. First class take it out wins. And that day we also voted for homecoming king and queen, because when we voted the week prior, we had the top 5 boys and girls of each, and everybody voted on those top 5 boys and girls, so to choose the homecoming king and queen. And there's also powder puff practices, which is basically the girls' flag football, which happens right after the parade, which everybody saw, which went pretty great. And then on Wednesday was dress up day, generation day, so freshmen went as babies, sophomores and middle schoolers, juniors, adults, and seniors as senior citizens or elderly. And the class competition that day was the lip sync, organized by each class by their own officers and everything. And I think also went fairly well. Everybody, they all had their own themes as correlated by that same day of the Generation Day, with like their music taste and everything. And other people showed up, like not just the school, just other like people, members of the city went to see, like parents, just people that like being involved in homecoming as well. And I think it went fairly great. Everybody liked the lip syncs everybody gave out. And that day was also girls soccer senior night. Oh, I know, that was Tuesday. No, that day was Coal Valley volleyball versus Coal Valley, and then boys soccer senior night. And then Thursday, the big homecoming day, it was like special bell with like schedule that day, because usually most of the day we're doing whole different stuff, not really class related work, because staff like enjoy homecoming for one last day. And that day was just dressed up as red and white, and we would attend first period for the first 15 minutes, take attendance, make sure everybody was there, and that went fairly well. And for the our first thing was assembly, where everybody gathered up in the gym as usual, and it was dodgeball and tug of war. So first we played dodgeball, which it's just dodgeball.
I heard the seniors cheated.
No. There's some controversy on that, but
Yeah.
I don't think we did. And then we also played tug of war, which also went fairly great and was actually pretty interesting to watch. And after that, everybody went to their own classes, like met up and discussed what they're gonna do, like what decorations are, like, because we had to take down all decorations from the halls after we had judges judge the halls, and we took them all down because we can't leave any decorations up, and we put all of those decorations onto our class floats, which is also another part of the competition of homecoming. And after that, we all went to building our floats and just activities, which happens every single year, where kids just bring speakers, balls, just basically have fun, enjoy time together and everything as a class and as a school. And after that, we had coordination / homecoming assembly, which was where they announced the homecoming king and queen. And before they announced the winners, the guest speaker, Dave Davies, went out. He was the old principal at the high school. I think most of you guys know him. And he gave out pretty good, just speech, and it was a pretty good speech. And after that, everybody went to lunch. We all came back, and everybody got into their little clubs or sports groups and got all ready for the parade. And after everybody was all ready, we started the parade. Went to the same route that's been for the past years. And after the parade, which went fairly well, I think the whole entire town liked it, as it usually goes. And after the parade, we had the powder puff game, where also other people other than just the school went to go watch. It was a pretty big thing, and I think that also went fairly well, pretty entertaining. And then on Friday, which is the homecoming football game, when we went against the Coal Valley Chargers, and the theme was red and white as usual, and we won the football game, of course. And after that, we had the street dance, which was where we just set up some speakers and stuff next to the scoreboard, and some people showed up. I think pretty good amount of people showed up, and we just played music, and it wasn't more like slow dance and everything. It was just more like group dance. Everybody was just having fun, ending off homecoming on a good note. And it's just sticky notes, my bad. And then for the results for the homecoming, because basically it's like competition for all the classes, and of course the winners were the seniors with 68 points, juniors was 53, sophomores was 43, and freshmen was 32. And that's basically all homecoming. It went pretty great, as it usually does, and I think it's one of the best homecomings we had so far.
Yep.
Alright.
You can have that as a souvenir.
Alright.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, so Kyla gave me the report that Drew sent in, and so that's obviously there in front of you. Just a little update on the ISATs. We do start those tomorrow in our English classes. And Mrs. Clark, my wife's been kind of instrumental. She was an ISAT proctor prior to, but those are all rolling out tomorrow. We're crossing our fingers that those go as planned, right? Which not a lot of things do on a daily basis, but we'll figure it out. That upcoming event is still happening. That's Monday of next week, that TVCC. I attended that last year. That's a pretty neat opportunity for high school juniors to basically 84 colleges, right? Military and career reps that are over there as well. There is a choir concert tonight that starts at 7 o'clock. That's for the middle school and the high school. So that's happening. And then I'm going to be a little bit of Bo here too and get everybody an update on sports and where we're at, because it's the end of the fall and we're getting close to playoff time. So girls and boys soccer, unfortunately, are both done after Saturday. They lost. The boys lost to Ambrose 2-1, so that was close, and their season's over. Girls lost 3-2, and so their seasons are over at this point in time. So close games, competitive games. Cross country's basically got the Winston Tilsey Invitational that's happening this Wednesday. That's over in Nampa. And then we host the district track meet I just switched gears there to spring. We host the district cross country meet at Rolling Hills on Tuesday of next week. And so that has a start time of 4 p.m. So Mr. Davies is always looking for more helpers on that. So if you guys are interested. Volleyball, looks like we have 2 more matches this week, right? We play McCall at home and then go to Fruitland on Thursday. And so that'll be the end of the regular season. Couldn't find an actual tournament bracket yet, but it sounds like the 1 and 2 seed will host this Saturday, the first rounds of districts. And so we'll wait and see. Bo's back tomorrow, so we'll get an update on that. And football's got, it's Fruitland week, right? Or we don't actually say that name, we say something else. But so that's a big one at home. JV go over there on Thursday. And I think that's about everything from the high school this week. So
Thank you. All right, I guess I'll go next. In case if you need to take off, it's fine. Thanks for coming and giving that report. All right. So since last month, I've seen you an update each week, and so just some of the highlights out of that, because these folks don't know, or I guess Alex doesn't. We met with our new police chief, Troy Cron, this month, and Cody Sampson, who's been our SRO, is going to, is basically done at this point, and Trey Walker will be our new SRO. Cody is going to continue to help train Trey and be available and work with him a fair amount as he kind of takes over. But Cody was promoted and in the police department, and we felt that that was something we needed to do, and we're going to hold somebody back from that kind of an opportunity. So, but we're sorry to lose him. I told you a little bit about, we've been working on a Weiser Alumni Foundation and kind of a statement and mission and purpose of it, and we're hoping to get that going. We have a really good, enthusiastic crew, I think, of past Weiser graduates through the generations, and we need to add a couple of, hopefully some of the younger generations. We got plenty of 50-plus people on our team, and so we need to get some folks in there a little younger, but there's a lot of enthusiasm for what potentially this group could do to potentially help in the future with scholarships, with building and district initiatives. In alumni, I think just there's a connection. You graduate from Weiser High School, there's a connection through the years, and I think we all want to see Weiser and the Weiser kids be successful. And some folks are, coming back for unions, those types of things. So I think this will help facilitate those, as well as give people opportunity to give back to Weiser and to good cause. And so the board will be charged with working with counselors, administrators to determine what those causes for sure will be. But clearly, scholarships would be a big part of this to help kids get launched out of high school. So we've been working on that, weekly here for the last month. And at this point, Kelly's turned in our articles of incorporation just today. And she said that'll take 10 to 14 days to get back. And then we'll submit the bylaws and apply for a 501(c), which would be a nonprofit entity, separate from the school, but yet obviously clearly tied to school and school things. So, so this group, then we would have a board, and we're gonna plan on a 9-member board. And basically we have 7 right at the moment that we just kind of wanted to start off with a smaller group task force, and then we're hoping to add a couple more here before too long. But anyway, I'm really excited about that, and that group is pretty enthusiastic, and I think they got some really good ideas. So, I mentioned to you, we had an elderly fan fell down at our soccer complex. Our soccer complex needs some work to be ADA compliant, and we're working on that. We are having a couple of people look at that, so hopefully, clearly by next year, but hopefully in the next couple of months, they'll build a ramp down in the soccer complex coming down to the field. So the main entrance, the closest entrance gate to where the bleachers are, is a pretty steep decline, and tough to walk down for some folks, especially if you're a little bit challenged in your abilities to walk. So anyway, working on that. But after that happened, we offered some golf cart rides and 4-wheeler rides for anybody that kind of needed to kind of get through the season. Everybody's, I think, thankful for those that got rides, but we'll try to get that fixed up for next year. You guys are aware we did a supplemental levy community meeting on September 29th, 6:30 to scheduled 6:30 to 8. We were there, several board members, and Barb and Kylie and I, and nobody else came. So at 7 o'clock, we had a couple cookies and went home. But we're going to offer it again, and we're hoping folks will come. And I think Alex and I and Barb will probably meet with you here in the next week or so and kind of put that out on Living in the News, just a little bit of advertise, a little bit of information about it, so people have that. We had a concern about possible mold in the classroom after we had that last big rain. It came down and it did ruin a computer right on a teacher's desk. And it came down the walls, and there was some concern that might have been a possible mold. We had a group out of Nampa contracted to come out called Resto Clean, and they did a very thorough analysis of it. They went up in the attic, looked down, they did a visual inspection. Then they did this little pump that they set up in the room. It's an air pump, and the air filters through it for like 5 to 7 minutes. And then they do it in the hallway for the same amount of time. And then they did it outside for the same amount of time to determine, are there any mold pollens or whatever they are in the air. And they said there is none. They said there's mold everywhere, anywhere you go. But our air inside was cleaner than the air outside. And it's clearly not perfect, but there was not any mold that had happened from that incident. So something we just had to get checked out, and we felt like we got a good thorough inspection, and to let people, I mean, clearly if we would have had mold, that would have been a big issue. And so we got to, we're not going to just poo-poo it, we're going to check it out, and we got a real good report on that. We do have filters in each of those rooms, and they get changed out every 2 months. And we're going to continue doing that. They're HEPA filters. They're fairly expensive, but they help keep the air clean. And they're not perfect. There's a lot of people in there, but anyway, there was no mold to be concerned about. We've had a little bit of a decline in our participation in our school lunch program. And we're working on that. The cooks mentioned that they've been kind of running through a lot of the inventory that they've had. They're going to do more scratch cooking from now forward, and hoping to maybe there'll be more, appealing meals. I went up and ate one day at the high school, and I liked it. It was ribicue, and they had a couple choices there. Some people were eating corn dogs, and there was a good group eating, and I didn't. But anyway, we're checking it out. Barb challenged all the administrators, gave them all $5.25, which is the cost of an adult meal. Said, go eat this week and see how it is, because we want to make sure that, the kids are having quality experience in the lunchroom, and so we're all doing that, and just kind of work with them. Yeah, the coach sent out a survey as well to the students to find out what other kind of choices they would be interested in, so they're making a good effort to try to improve in that area. We had a safety committee meeting last Friday, and so Cody and Trey were both here and kind of helped lead it, and then I helped lead some parts of it. We had a good committee, probably, I don't know, 15, 18 people in it, and just kind of went around and talked about what are the safety concerns, what are the safety measures that we've taken so far, a number of fire drills and lockdown drills and those types of things to kind of see where everybody was in the process. And then we're talking about escape routes and what you do in various situations. And we're not planning to huge change to our safety policies, but just to make sure you've had a lot of turnover, especially administrators. And so to make sure everybody knows what the plans are, and to tweak them and to update them for now. We also have a goal to make a little flip chart, kind of a little colored flip chart that's just a real quick, easy reference point. And I know Kyla shared one that they have at the hospital that they use, and so we're going to kind of use that format and to have one of those in each classroom for, you have a sub in there, you have things, just a real quick reference. What do you do? It's a lockdown, it's a hold, what do you do? And so they can just quickly know. Hopefully we'll have enough training for most staff, but sometimes it's in a panic. You can't just look through that policy and try to find stuff, and so we're hoping that that'll help us in our responses. Flu shots were offered to all staff in buildings on Friday morning, and a lot of people took advantage of it, and some didn't, but it was offered. Kirk Metsubu Landscaping. If you go up and take a look, it looks pretty good. He's got it all smoothed out, seeded, fertilized just before all this rain, so maybe that'll be a good thing. Hoping to get it to germinate this spring and get it going so that, or this fall, so that spring it'll be rolling. Mentioned to you, we haven't had a federal programs director, and so we've offered a position for Dave Davies, and we'll discuss that just where we're at. But the plan would be for him to come back 2 days a week and to help us in those roles. Track doctor, Robert Stone, the track doctor. I just talked to him again this morning. He called, and due to the weather, he's going to probably wait till Thursday now. But the plan is he needs to fix that west corner, and he's having some discussions with Triple G as well. But he knows that he's going to get it fixed for us, and they can work that out. So we're going to put a couple hurdles around it and some tape so that hopefully nobody steps in it for a couple of days. So a month or so ago, we discussed another safety item was with the Raptor technologies, and I've mentioned that to you before. And so I met with, is it Jim Huff with Laura Foundation here, and I couldn't even believe it. Like within 2 weeks, it was approved for somewhere $14,000. She bought them for everybody with a, I can't remember if it's a 2 or a 3 year contract. So all the buildings will have them. So basically, you come in, and if you're going to volunteer or come in as a visitor, if they don't know you or you haven't been in there before, you're going to just put your driver's license in the card. It prints you off a visitor badge. It checks you for a sex offender registry across 50 states. And so it's not just Idaho, it's nationwide. So we're pleased to get that in place. And Dave, it's one of the assignments I gave him when he came back, because he's pretty techie, just to kind of help make sure we get those set up here the next month in each of the buildings. And there'll be some training involved for secretaries and others running those to make sure that we're doing it right. If somebody comes up, red flagged, they're going to quickly call the administrator, have a discussion. Just clearly, we have a sex offender policy. Sex offenders, some of them have kids in our school, and we have to work with them. But there are some limitations and some rules that they've got to follow. So I think having this out there is going to keep us from not being surprised when we know what's going on. And I think it'll be pervading in the fact that people know they're going to do that. If they have something in their background, they're going to just try to come in and volunteer. So anyway, happy happy to get those in place. So they've already arrived, I know at the high school. I don't know, have they arrived in your village yet? And so it'll be a little while before they get them all set up and go. But I think by next month, at this time, I would expect they're in place and going. So that's probably enough for us. Do you have any questions?
Any questions? Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
the track did look good, the field looked
Pardon
really,
me?
I went and walked the track the other day and
Oh,
it
did
looks
you?
much better.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, it's kind of level. It's kind of, I think that there's dirt above the grates. I think it's going to go into them. Which is kind of what we're hoping for. I mean,
Drop off
before,
after
but-
that.
Dang water won't run
Yeah,
uphill, right?
good, so.
Good.
Good, thank you. Let's hear from the rest of your staff.
Yeah, all admins, yeah, just give us 2 or 3, 4 minutes. Kind of highlights from your written reports, if you would. Let's go down the line, whoever's ready.
I'll go.
All right, Jeff.
All right, on the 2nd of October, we took our students from Indian Head over to College of Western Idaho. We toured the Micron CTE Center, saw all their shops, their machine shop, diesel shop, auto mechanic, auto body. It's a great facility. Hopefully, we're giving some kids some ideas about where they can go next from our school and transition into the workforce. Currently, we do have one student that was a graduate of ours last year that is doing the diesel mechanics program. He's doing his prerequisite stuff right now, but he'll start into that program in January, I believe. So that's kind of neat and kind of a nice follow-up with them. We do have a trip to TVCC coming up on the 22nd of October. Similar thing, they're having an open house for their CTE programs. And in addition to what they did last year at their open house, they've got a keynote speaker this year. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Amberly Snyder. Amberly Snyder, she was, I'm pretty sure still is, a barrel racer that she had a car accident on her way to a rodeo and was paralyzed from the waist down, and then she's willed herself to continue to do the things that she enjoys, and so she's going to be the keynote speaker, I'm sure, talking about overcoming adversity. And I've heard her talk before. She's pretty good, and the kids, I think our kids will really enjoy listening to her speak. That's on the 22nd at TVCC. And the other, just highlight, we just finished up our first session on the 1st of October. We had 18 students that earned 57 credits over the first 7 weeks of school. We're looking at one student that has one more credit. She says she thinks she'll be done at the end of this week, maybe next week. But we're planning on having a graduation for her on the 20th of November. And I'll remind everyone of that before that. So maybe if we're lucky, we'll get another one to join her.
Nice.
So, any questions for me on Indian?
Was there a graduate that already was supposed to have one? That was gonna go
That's the one that I thought we'd get her at the
Okay.
end of the first session. She kind of schemed this on, and this was pretty cool. She said she's got some family coming into town for Thanksgiving, and our session ends right that day before we get out for Thanksgiving, and she thought that some of her family could be there for her graduation. So that was kind of neat planning on her part, and I said, hey, absolutely, we'll do that for you.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll go next. Okay, so along with the academic achievement side of things for the special education, I have met with each of the special education teachers and reviewed their IPLP goals for the year. And they each have 2 academic growth goals. The focus is on reading and math, and then 1 personal growth goal associated with the Charlotte Danielson framework for teaching. And then I have a couple.
Green HUD, And the ag department at the high school built that for us. And we'd like to credit that teacher and then also the maintenance staff for putting that up in a really fast turnaround time. So I think that's a really great addition. And I love the pride that people take because they actually put spotlights on it so that when you're driving at night, you can actually see that. So that's a really cool addition. Academically this year, we're tracking a couple of things. We are wanting to see if reading does make a difference for us in terms of improving ISAT scores, and so we have added AR quite a bit. Fourth grade class as a total has earned about 1,500 points, and that is in essence about 16 points per student right now. We are wanting them to get to about 20 points per quarter or 80 points altogether. And the fourth grade group is reading at an 85% accuracy clip, which is really great. The fifth grade, they have about 1,900 points, but mind you that they have one more class. There's 5 fifth grade classes and 4 fourth grade. They are reading at a 73% clip, and then they are earning about 17 points per student at this point right now. Every single quarter we have incentives. Quarter one incentives is a root beer float, and we are finalizing the numbers. Right now we have 95 students who have met that 20-point goal, which is about 47%, which is outstanding. And we have quarter two goals, or quarter two incentives, quarter three incentives, and quarter four incentives. And there is one student who has already achieved 300 points already, which is truly amazing. We have the AR store ready to go, so if you would like to purchase or donate stuff, we will do that. We actually have slat wall that was also put up by the maintenance staff, and we have some backpacks and some Wolverine gear that's up there that the students can buy with their AR money. So next time you're in the building, please check it out. We might add some extra taxes under so that we can fund the AR store, so if you're good with that, we're good with it. A couple other noteworthy things here. Last year, we started tracking incidents quite heavily, and we averaged about 4.5 incidents per day that were recorded into Infinite Campus. We have 11 entered into our Infinite Campus system as of week 9. A couple of things that we are trying to do differently is that the word bullying was used very frequently last year, and we were trying to be proactive. And we have been pushing into classes so that we are giving them the proper definitions as well as the responses. We've received 88% of students completing the questionnaire for us, which is good, but we want 100%, so we are making sure that we are doing that. And one of a different thing that we are doing for discipline is actually after every single incident that happens, we are actually having, it's called a reflection form. We are asking the students reflect on their behavior. There's also a section in there it's asking, do you believe that you deserve a consequence? And students put yes or no, and if it's a yes, what consequence should you have? And so we are really having them guide in their behaviors. And some of these misbehaviors should not be put into Infinite Campus. A conversation or that reflective moment is very important, essential for their growth, and we believe that this is making a big difference in our management of student behaviors. And now our big focal point moving forward is on academics, so that now that we have behaviors better under control this year, we really can dive into academics, especially with AR supporting our initiatives. The last couple of things for us is we had Student of the Month. We had 10 students, and then we have another new initiative here. We had a community member ask us about attendance because last year we had 2,318 absences altogether in grades 4 and 5 at Park School. In essence, that's 12 absences per student. It's too much, and it puts a lot of strain on the teachers because they have to differentiate packets on a daily basis for every single one of their students and every single one of their classes. A community member funded an incentive. If you have a perfect attendance for a month, your name is going to be put into a raffle, and you're going to be drawn. And you can invite 2 family members, and you can invite any staff member, and you can have lunch with us, and you can pick where you want to eat. And so we have those 2 recipients for 4th grade and 5th grade. And in the 4th grade, the student chose Mr. Aubrey, and he picked him because Mr. Aubrey drove this student as a 1st grader on the bus. And for him to recall that was pretty cool. And then the 5th grade student actually selected me, not sure why, but that was good. And then the last couple of things for us is that we are, on Fridays, on our work Fridays, we are pushing into deliberate and intentional training sessions so that we are doing better for our staff and better for the students. And we really like to give a lot of credit to Pioneer School and to the SPED department this last time. It's been really fun to work with Eric because we understand that there are gaps, but to have 2 buildings unified so that we can work on training, that is very specific. And then Nicole put on a training for IEPs, 504s, and RTIs this past Friday. In getting feedback, it was really well received. It was very necessary. And so I think that it was very good for the staff to be informed. And sorry that this is a little long, but the last thing is that we have upcoming field trips. You as board members and Mr. Kirby as well, we have 5th grade is going to the College of Idaho, to the planetarium and to the museum. And the 4th grade, we are really wanting to line that up with 4th grade history. So they are going to the Idaho History Museum and the Anne Frank Memorial. So if you would like specific dates, or I think they're actually in your packet, please let us know. And if you would like to chaperone, that'd be really cool too. Any questions I can answer?
No, thank you. That's good report. Thank you.
Pioneer, while we've been focusing on our citizenship matrix there, positive office referrals, character coupons. We instilled that at the beginning of the year that the leadership team and the staff voted on last year, just to build the culture at Pioneer. Then going over our academic goals, goal 1, by the end of the 25-26 school year, 3rd graders at Pioneer School will increase their ISAT proficiency rate by at least 3% in both ELA and math. And then goal 2 is by the end of the 25-26 school year, at least 75% of the K-3 students at Pioneer School will demonstrate at least a year's worth of growth, or a 0.4 effect size on their mirror reading and math assessments. Right now we're currently at 0.16 on math and 0.10 on reading. And you can see their mirror scores down below. I do not have Octobers in there yet, or kindergarten, because kinder took September's and then they took October, so we'll get that and put it in there. We have a few that are just finishing up. They finished up, I believe, this morning in the computer lab. So we're looking at that. We have Class Dojo, which has been a great way to communicate with parents, share things that are going on in the school, highlight different things. I think the parents are enjoying it.
Eric, I have to apologize.
No, you're okay.
You sent me the Pioneer report and the Weiser Middle School report, and I forgot to attach it, so.
Okay.
Oh, that's
They're
okay.
just listening to you for the first time and have never read anything, but I will
okay,
attach it
perfect.
tomorrow, I
apologize.
promise. So you'll have it, you just
That
don't
first
have
part
it
was on-
tonight.
That first part was on
Yeah.
there. Appreciate that.
Yes. Now I just forgot my train.
I'm so
We're
sorry.
No,
talking
you're
about
okay.
Class Dojo and that's going really well.
Oh, yes, because I get to highlight different things for the parents on there. They get to see, like when kids get positive office referrals. I've taken some pictures of things happening in the school. The teachers get to put their stuff on Class Dojo, so the parents actually get to get into the classroom without actually being there. I've used Class Dojo for many years, but I just love it because it's closed, so you have to be invited. You can't just like find someone on there. So even a lot of times, like in the past when I've had students that have like no media, parents will let them be on Class Dojo just because it's invite only and not everyone has access to it. Like you can't just find someone that you want to find. So. We chose though the effect size. Everyone's using that as their goal or their main goals. One, just because we believe every student deserves at least a year's worth of growth. That's including our high kids, and sometimes when we just focus on trying to get our low kids to proficiency or advanced, sometimes our higher kids don't get pushed the way they should. So that's why we chose a growth effect size to make sure that we're pushing all students. I'm putting that data in an effect size calculator for all the teachers each month, so we can track it monthly to see how students are doing and then address that. We have parent-teacher conferences coming up where we'll get to work with the parents and share our ideas and listen to their ideas of things we can do to help their students get up. I've also been sharing our goals on Class Dojo with families, and along with some things that they can do at home to help support their students. And then I'll also share our growth with them as well that I just shared with you.
Okay, I just saw today
Yes.
something about, trying to figure out a different route for parent drop-off. Thank you so much for trying to work on that.
Yes, we've looked at a couple different things. I've had 109 people, I think, so far answer the survey.
I took it, even though I don't have a kid there.
Oh, okay. Well, and then we also put on there with the signs, so I just wanted to make, because there are some new signs there, I don't know if you've noticed, but no left
I
turns
did not
from.
notice. That was one of the questions. I was like, no, I did not notice.
Yeah, so, well, we just wanted to make sure, because we were unaware at first that it was out there as well until
Oh,
we saw it, and then somebody pointed out, and we had an officer there this morning, and I
Yes,
guess,
uh-huh.
went pretty well as people were going through, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that as well. But we just wanted some feedback, some information on what parents thought, and
yeah, I thought
the
that was great.
community.
I hope it works out. We get some good information from that.
Yes, thank you.
That first few weeks was a little rough, just dropping off and picking up. And
It's
so,
been rough for years.
he complains, and it's always been, it hasn't. So Eric has been proactive in trying to get some possibilities in the process. Police came over and they kind of suggested that no left turn. It kind of caught us by surprise. The city put it up before it really had, we were ready for it, kind of, so it just kind of happened. So last week, so we asked police to be down and just wanted to help Eric with that, no left turn. So problem is, like, in the first week or two of school, sometimes you had people turn, left to go down Pioneer Road, and if somebody's trying to do a U-turn right there, they could get backed up, put her back to the stop sign. And it was a bad deal, and part of it is just, I think, an awareness by whoever's doing the crossing guard, and just moving people. But it's tough to bring people in, U-turn and coming in this way, and take care of the walkers across, so eliminating that, I think, is probably gonna help out somewhat. It's gonna not make everybody happy, because now somebody has to go down and turn around and come back this way. They can only turn right in there in the mornings, so
I love that.
that just changed.
That sun can be so bad, because I'm going that way in the morning about the time of school. And in the morning, that sun shining at you, you could very easily not see a kiddo crossing or darting. I mean, yeah, so that's a whole other thing, so
At this point, that would be a board decision, if we're going to change everything, it's a survey to see,
Yeah.
do we have a need, how big is the problem, and would you consider this other route? And if that comes back 90%, say, yeah, let's do this other route, we'll come back to you guys and say, hey, let's reroute where our parents come through. And in that case, the one that he put out there, he had about 3 or 4, and Cody put some together too, we kind of worked on it, looked at it here a couple weeks ago. But the one that he did put out would go down, what's the next street past?
There.
Right here.
And then pull
And
in.
then come in where that locked gate is, and come
back by
this
like
way.
staff parking.
Yeah,
Right,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
come in back where that parking is, so.
and make it move fluid, and then the kids would get out, because we have the busers currently that go through the back door there, then everybody would end up going through that back door and just drop them off right there where the green route was. And
I love that.
drop, right, and then just keep going, and then 2 exits out, so but it's just a longer, because right now in the front, it's just kind of a short, distance, and,
It's backed up.
yeah, and then there's the stop sign right there, so.
I love it.
So, we're
That's
thinking,
my vote.
so we're looking at it,
Yeah.
Thanks for
I'm glad
looking
you're
at
looking
it.
at it. Mhm.
If you guys want to be added to the class, though, let me know. Check it out.
Is that everybody, Mr. Kirby?
administrators, yes, I think you have Barb on there later, probably.
Yep, we do.
You will have, I've just downloaded them, so I'll attach them right now, but you'll have Wendy's report here,
Yes.
and Eric's too, so I can grab those. Sorry.
Okay, and
Sorry.
I haven't seen any citizen comments or citizens here, so we'll move on to the WEA.
I am here. We did have a meeting the Thursday before this one. So at Pioneer, our staff has been meeting with our principal to develop our IEP-LPs. That's mouthful. He has been incredibly supportive and enthusiastic about what we do, and it's clear that he truly has our best interest in mind. So we thank him for that. There are a few challenges that we'd like to bring forward. One issue is the shortage of substitutes. And I know this is not just a Pioneer issue, but since I'm there, I feel it harder. Our pairs are often being pulled to cover classrooms, which leaves a gap in the support our students need. I just don't come with problems, I come with solutions. We'd love to maybe see more advertising for sub openings in different places, not just at our website. And I know we do a basic sub training at one place or 2 times in the year. Maybe we could do another one since our need is great. And then I don't know if we do this or not, but we could cover the cost of the fingerprints for subs because they have to have their fingerprinting done. So those are my potential solutions. Nope, that's not it. And as we reach the end of the quarter, we've had many teachers struggling to balance grading, preparing for conferences, while we've been losing prep time for meetings, professional development sessions right before conferences are happening. I spent 5 hours at home this weekend working on grading and getting grades entered, and I know that's just not my grade level, but Park School has felt it and other schools as well. And just we simply ask that scheduling be a little more mindful during the busy grading periods. And we we appreciate your continued support and understanding as we work together for what's best for our students and staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move on to the consent agenda, I had a concerned citizen ask me the other day why they could not find the board information on the school website. And I'm just going to report.
Don't report on it.
Okay, I'm not
Can
going
I
to report on it.
confess something? Just because
I was going to give you the
I
exact
know,
way to do
but
it.
being old is funny, and I realized that if you zoom up your screen, some of it disappears.
Okay.
So that was a problem. So, old lady,
I appreciate that. I'm just getting anyway.
Thank you.
For anybody, if you go to our school website and click on About at the top of the screen, you will see Weiser Board of Trustees listed in the drop-down menu. If you click there, it will list all of us and our email addresses.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to, when I saw you, I wanted to make sure that I told everybody.
Yeah.
Consent agenda for the board. Has everybody been able to look at the past minutes for our last board meetings? Any changes needed that you know of, that you saw? Okay. Current agenda, look through it. Any last minute changes, Mr. Kirby, Ms. Dickerson?
I don't think so.
Okay. Staff changes of any kind that we need to?
I don't think we have any
Retirement
resignations
resignation.
at this point. We do have, no. We do have a hire.
Okay. Let's talk about your hire.
We would like to hire a federal programs director, Dave Davies, 2 days a week. He's very familiar with it. He's done federal programs in the past. He retired. And so he would come back 2 days a week with no benefits. So I think that would be, we've been kind of trying to get by, and so it's nice to have him back. There's a lot of people breathing a sigh of relief that he's back in action, trying to help keep the federal programs out of trouble and moving forward. So we'd like to recommend him.
Okay. Here's choked. Your favorite thing in the world.
My favorite thing in all
Your
life, well,
financial report.
numbers that I can't see because I left my glasses over here, so. Well, the good news is, once again, your financials are fairly boring, but I do have some fun things to talk about. So we are basically in our first month of this school year's budget, so we should be between 8 and 9% on all of our educational line items, and we're we really are there. In our exceptional child, you see that we're 11% right now, and that will be adjusted. This next month, we made some adjustments to where we were paying some staff from based on what their duties actually are. So this is kind of our cleanup period for that. The interscholastic program is our coaching program, and we have a lot of coaches that are paid in lump sums. So that's why you won't see that one track along just exactly the same. Purchase services, that was actually porta potty rentals that you see in there. So 30% of our budget being spent right there, but it's not a large budget. So you see us being a little bit over in that area, but not anything to be concerned about because it's not a large dollar amount. Special education, again, we're seeing some, in the support services, we're seeing some shifting of where those salaries were paid from this last month and moving them over into other funds, just balancing everything out again based on what people are actually doing. You know, Nicole talked quite a bit about the Medicaid billing that we're doing, and we are truly hoping to increase the amount of money that we're getting from Medicaid. Having everything be combined into one program, your IEP is right there, you've got a person managing that IEP, and you know, I only spent 15 minutes doing this Medicaid billable service, so I'm not going to spend the time to do all of the other paperwork in Go Solutions in order to get paid for 15 minutes. Well, those 15 minutes add up very quickly, and now that it's all part of the IEP and it'll just pick that up as that billing source, we expect to see that Medicaid billing piece increase. And for staff that is billing Medicaid, they can be paid by those Medicaid funds, but they cannot be paid with federal funds. That's considered double dipping if they're paid out of the IDEA special education budget. So we've had to move some of those people back over into the general fund side so that we can get more money on the Medicaid side. So it's this little shell game that we get to play, but we're managing it very well and we're going to do much better this year. So I'm really excited about the opportunity to work with Nicole and some of the fantastic ideas that she has for really increasing our revenue stream and still providing all of the services that we're required to and want to provide to our special education students. So very excited about this relationship that we've started. It's wonderful. Let's see, as we wander back down through here, you'll see that books and periodicals is significantly over budget. Not over budget, it's just that those things are purchased at the beginning of the year, so you're not going to see an 8% purchase line item on that. One thing I am excited about, Lindsay Grant at the high school was awarded one of the Idaho Community Library Foundation grants, and so she's got $5,000 to purchase specific books for the high school library, so really excited about that, and she's working hard on getting all of those things done. And then of course you all are costing us lots of money this next month because of the conference that's happening in Coeur d'Alene. Very excited that you all are able to attend that. It is your most significant training opportunity, collaboration with other school board members, and so it is money very well spent for our district to send you guys to that. And we also do receive $6,600 back from the state for your expenses. So while it seems to be a significant expenditure, we do get some of that back. Let's see here, district administration, you see that we're at 19.6%. The district administration budget starts July 1, not September, so we should be at that point right now, at that 9% spending each month. So that's accurate for us. School administration starts September 1, so they're right within budget right there. Business operations again starts July 1, so you'll see that we're up right there. Building care starts July 1. Building maintenance is also July 1. Safe schools, these are so the contracts that we purchase throughout the year for school safety items, our alarm monitoring and some of those kinds of things, and so those are going to be front-loaded expenses that you see there. Support services for food services, you know, our salaries have increased a little bit there, but you'll see that level out now that the summer additional pay that we pay over the contract amount for summer help is going down, so that will start leveling out. Very minor equipment purchases, park whiteboards, and the middle school did their final payment on their scoreboard. So that is your general fund expenses, and you'll see that our primary checking account is in balance. Our payroll checking account, still we're trying to catch up with Delta Dental. We do the employee deductions through our payroll on the 20th of each month, and then Delta Dental sends us the bill, and we have to pay exactly what their bill is, regardless of whether or not an employee has made a change or they cancel our service for that month until the bill catches up. So we're always kind of in that catch-up mode with Delta Dental because we pay them electronically and it's the amount of the bill, and it's got to wait until the next payroll cycle in order to catch back up. So while it appears that we're out of balance right there, it really is just a timing issue with that Delta Dental ACH payment that goes out. So, and then you see our investment accounts right down there, our modernization funds, which is what we're doing for all of our roofs and for our student center. We still have $5 million in that account. And we have $8.7 million in our general fund because we have received 50% of what the state is going to pay us for this year already. So those are funds that will be used throughout the year to make payroll and all the rest of our expenses. So as you flip over to the next page, which is our federal funds, really there's nothing in here that is a cause of any concern. You'll see that Fund 261, we're at 38%, and that is licensing for, Gaggle is a software that we purchased that is what I call a sniffing tool on student email accounts. So it helps us identify a student who is psychologically in a little bit of trouble based on the nature of the emails that they're sending to their buddies or on the articles that they're writing, and so that an administrator can do an intervention with that child and prevent any disastrous situations. And so really excited about that software. We do pay for that through that student support federal program, and it is an upfront. We pay that at the beginning of the year for the entire year. Fund 231, you'll see right now, is called the School Nurse Program. We no longer qualify for that grant, but what we did qualify for this year was an SRO grant. So we'll get about $120,000 each year for the next 3 years from the State Department of Education to reimburse the city for allowing us to basically have a dedicated SRO. We've had an SRO that the city has gifted to us in the past, but if he or she needed to be pulled off for a special assignment, they would be, and then we were without. Now we're actually paying for that officer, and so there's a different level of expectation, and Mr. Kirby has worked very hard with new Chief Cron and making sure that we do have that dedicated resource. And Officer Sampson, now Sergeant Sampson, has been our SRO for a long time and knows our students very well, and so I'm devastated to lose him. I did confirm with the state that a change in staffing in that position does not affect our grant, so Officer Walker will still be funded by that SRO grant, and we'll actually have enough money in there that we'll be able to pay for part of his SRO training that he'll take in January. So Sergeant Sampson will be working hand in hand with Officer Walker until he takes that training in January, and that also does that transition for our students, recognizing a police officer that they're familiar with, and then being introduced to the new one with both of them in that same environment. So excited about that, and excited that the SRO grant that we had was not impacted by the change in personnel there. So that is really all of the words that I have to share with you today, because I get to talk later about our levy again.
Awesome.
Any questions for me? Let me keep talking.
You can talk later.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Barb. All right.
You know what, we had a very busy end to the day, and I know that Riley got all the bills in there, but I didn't get the PDF, so it wasn't that I forgot it, but between the two of us, we forgot it, so it's not up there. She printed it out.
Okay. With that being said,
Was there anything that you saw?
I-
Lots of money going out.
Yeah, she said she had about 500,000.
Yeah, it's a big one.
It was very expensive. She's been busy writing.
With that being said, in order for us to move on from our consent agenda, I would entertain a motion. I can look at this in the
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made to approve the consent agenda. Has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, let's move into our action items.
Do we need a separate,
I'm sorry?
motion for David Davis.
No, that's part
That's
of
part
the
of the
consent.
consent
Yeah.
agenda. Good question, well, thank you for that. We need to consider approving the Weiser School District Gift and Talented Plan. Mr. Kirby, do you have any more information on that?
Okay, so, yeah, just from talking to Wendy recently, this was approved for 3 years in 24 to 27, so there's not a big deal, but I think apparently we may not have it in the board minutes. I guess we've got to get it in if we could, the approval of this plan. Basically, the GT plan in Weiser is going to go building levels, and they're going to basically be an IEP type situation for your gifted high-level students, determining what items they can do to enhance their learning. And so we don't have a district-wide pull-out type program for GT. It's a very small number of students that are in it, and but they're going to have building level meetings to determine how to best service those.
And we don't really receive any state funding for that
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
Yes.
So it's not a
That's
change,
huge.
I guess, it's just recognizing the plan that we've had in place since 24.
Yeah.
So we've got it in the minutes since we approved it.
So we approve this plan, will it go from 25 to 28 then, or will it still be a
No, it's still gonna be the
27?
24 to 27. We're just gonna
Retroactive.
rubber stamp that.
Okay, I just wondered if we gained anything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It has to be submitted to, your plan has to be written up and then submitted to the state, and then the state has to approve what you've got for a plan. And that happened in 24, but we didn't do it here, so.
Can we do?
I thought we talked about it.
I don't have it in the board minutes.
Okay.
of the-
I looked,
Barb is
Okay,
gonna
yeah,
look
we
at
might
it,
have
she
been,
didn't
yeah,
see it.
information,
I
we
don't
talked
like
about it,
it.
but we
I guess
definitely
we
had
could
the
just
discussion.
do it again.
Yeah, let's,
Yeah.
shouldn't be a problem.
Get it official. I'll make that motion that we approve the GP program, the plan.
I'll second.
Okay. Yeah, Sean will second that. Motion has been made and seconded to approve the GT plan for Weiser School District. All those in favor? Okay. I'm glad we're talking about a car instead of a bus right now, but we have to maintain vehicles for student education. Mr. Kirby, what is this?
Well,
You want me to do it?
yeah, we'll give this one to
This is the
Barb.
funny one, I think. I think it's gonna be kind of interesting.
Barb, you really like to assist, Miss Cho, you really like to
All right, I'll just tell you
share
a
your
little
voice,
story.
share with us.
Okay, so our 2011 Toyota Camry driver's education vehicle was in need of about $8,000 worth of repair. We were able to purchase through Smith Auto and their gracious things that they keep doing for our district for about $17,000 in 2021 vehicle. And so we want to trade in our 2011 that has 284,000 miles on it, that they're willing to give us $1,000 for, that we just beg and plead that you would say yes, that we can transition that car officially to them. So they do have possession of it, and they have actually a sale in process, so I really hope that you would declare that excessive and let us use that $1,000 towards, you really could. So, yes, we just need to declare that as excessive equipment because it literally had no value. The Blue Book value on it was less than $200.
Okay.
And it did need $8,000 worth of repairs, and so it didn't make any sense not to spend $17,000 to get a brand new one.
Okay,
Sure.
I move that we dispose of the driver education car, the 2011 Toyota Camry.
Second.
okay. Motion's been made and seconded to go ahead and let that car go. Is it a blank gas car go? That car will leave our possession. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. I guess they can resell it then. We also have an opportunity, I think it's pretty neat now that our Spanish 3 class wants to go on a trip to a Spanish-speaking country. And
I think they're going to Spain. I think it's been
Spain
pointed
or
out to me
Portugal?
that I'm wrong.
Oh,
It's
you're
not
wrong.
They
Portugal,
speak
it's
Portuguese
Spain.
in
I think it's from Portugal, because you went to Portugal last year. Okay.
So
They might have
Spain.
enough time.
anyway, they, in order to have a fundraiser, they'd like to have a bank account so that they can put those funds in. Is there any more information than that, Mr. Kirby, that?
They just want to keep an account separate. They're tracking all of the students' fundraising and parent help and all of that. And there's quite a bit of money that has to be raised. I remember we had Jessica Arvin is the advisor in this, and she came in and visited and said that it will be kind of spendy, but they do think they're gonna get it done, and the trip actually sounds very economical and a great opportunity for those kids. So,
Fantastic.
and I think they are currently, I've heard, announcements over the speakers at the football games that they're selling cookies, or they're doing, so they're doing,
Wristbands and different things.
yeah, they're
Yep.
doing car washes and everything, so I think they're out there.
Good.
And they did, and in order for them to, they'll use our tax ID number to open that account. So they have to have, and then we have to show that we've approved it so they can open it. And I would assume, and I'm fairly certain that it will be closed as soon as it's done.
Okay.
Do we have to approve signers on it, like our other accounts?
You might, and I would think Jessica Arvin would be one, and
Drew would have to be
Drew would
the other
have to be one, and perhaps
I could be.
Casey or you, do you want to? Okay, so probably
That way I
the
could have
three would be
access.
Drew and Barb
Jessica.
and Jessica Arvin. Yes, good
Should we
point.
add that to the-
That probably should be.
Well, I would make that motion then that we, unless someone, do you guys want
Go
to
for
discuss?
it. You're doing good.
No,
You're
that's
doing
great.
good.
All right, that we approve the Zions Bank fundraising account for the Spanish 3 class trip with Drew, Jessica, and Barbara as the signatories. So that we're done.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I wasn't even gonna try to restate that, so good job, Melanie. All right, we have really coming to an end of our action items, but at this time we have an executive session that we need to go into. So we will invite the public and everyone to exit the room.
We have cookies.
Melanie brought 12.
We can split them,
I
she
can
may
run
know.
home fast.
I need two.
You really disrupt the apple cart.
Thanks for staying. There's no action that needs to be taken at this time due to the executive session we had. Discussion items, before we get into the one that is actually on here, does any of the board members have anything that they would like on the agenda next time for discussion? And I'm just gonna open that right up, and I'm probably not supposed to, but any administrators have anything Barb, that you'd want us discussing?
The special education manual will need to be
Updated?
approved.
We did the Edgar last month.
We did Edgar, but not the SPED manual.
The SPED manual being
It's
separate,
different.
that's a
Yes.
new one from the
So that
state.
needs to be on the actual agenda and not as a discussion item? But
Um,
that's, or,
It just needs to be adopted.
yeah, so it needs an action item for our next meeting, okay, awesome, thank you for that. Anything else? Okay, all right. Item B on discussion items is a supplemental levy discussion. Mr. Kirby gave us a report that we did have a meeting at the library last week. But because of double booking, there was also a public meeting down at the Vendome Center. And I'm just gonna let everybody know that you'd be happy to know that in past meetings that we've had, about our supplemental levy at the library. We've had 5 or 6 community members show up at the most, maybe 8, but not 10. And I don't know how many people were actually at the meeting at the Vendome, but I was able to speak to the levy at the Vendome as a candidate. And so I was able to speak in front of 50 or 60 people. So we actually had more people get information about the levy that we're doing than we've ever had at the library. So maybe it was a win, but
And you got to eat.
don't ever do that again.
Well, isn't there something on the
On the
next?
there's something on the 20th as well.
And I think Barb wanted to talk a little bit.
And yeah, I know Barb has some more information for us, so Barb, I'm gonna let you talk some more.
Oh, thank you. So, and I just wanted to remind everybody, and especially our media presence here, that the meeting on October 20th at the library, we're going to do it again, and it's titled A Conversation. It's not just Mr. Kirby and Kyla and I giving our lectures and dissertations about it. It truly, I want it to be a give and take conversation so that anybody who does have questions about the levy, what we're doing and why we're doing it, they have that opportunity to get their answers at that event. So it really is intended to be a conversation. And again, the levy is for the things that the district truly needs. We've been fortunate the last 2 years that state funding has come in and paid off that levy before our taxpayers needed to cough up any money at all for it. Our hope is that that will continue. We can't guarantee that. We don't know until August 31st how much money is going to be in that fund that the state has to pay down school levies. So I can't promise anybody that it'll be the same, but what I can promise is that the items that we've listed on that levy are true needs of the district that there's no other funding source for. And just a reminder as well, even when the state does come in and pay that levy, it allows us the flexibility to use those funds the way that the voters and the board have approved us to use those funds. If we don't run the levy, we still get the money from the state, but we have to use it only on facilities. I couldn't fund all-day kindergarten. I couldn't support the food services program. I couldn't do the things that we need to do with special education. And we couldn't buy the additional Chromebooks that we need. And we may be to the point that we'd have to charge some of our athletes to play. And we don't ever want to get to that position in our district. It's been our goal to support all the needs of all of our kids. And we really want that flexibility. So the hope is that the state will come in and pay it next year, just like they have for the last 2. But we want to still have that flexibility to spend the money the way you all have approved and the voters have approved us to spend that money. So that's the reason for it being on the ballot. And the November timing of the election is a critical point that I want everybody to understand. We did a levy in May of 24 that was for 2 years. We levied that in September of 24 and in September of 25. Those funds funded all-day kindergarten, funded no pay to play, and funded our track and our new student center that is going to be under construction soon. So that levy is over and done with this coming year, and the 5 items that are listed on the new levy is what this would be used for beginning in September of 26. So the building is not on there, the track is not on there. Those were done and paid for by the wishes of our patrons with state dollars. So, and then if anybody has any questions, like I said, I'd like for this to be a conversation. Please invite friends and family to come to the library October 20th at 5:30, yeah, 6:30 at the library, sorry. Yes, we'll have cookies. Any questions for me?
I don't have any questions. Thank you very much. I think did we have one piece of community information?
Yes. I truly appreciate it's 2, sorry. To Dave Kirby, Superintendent, and the Board of Trustees. I truly appreciate the lovely card that was sent my way after my surgery and rehab. It truly brightened my day. Your support is priceless. And most importantly, thank you, Shalay Turner.
Okay, and we've changed our agendas as of, it's been a couple months, but we also have a time at this point in our meetings to have community.
Oh, I need to visit
Conversations.
though, just a second. So the ISBA convention, so that of course is the November, is it the 11th? I don't have my thing, the 11th? Okay, so you four are you three are going, and Toby Clary is going to go instead of Melanie. So we want to drive the van. Is that your thoughts?
We decided to drive. We had the van reserved.
I have the van reserved. I can
But
drive
there's
the
5
van.
of us.
I'm authorized to drive the van. If you want to drive the van, I just need a few items from you in order to, there's a webinar, or you have to do a video of 15 passenger van video. You have to do your driver's license, and then you also have to take a little driving test. That's our insurance makes that happen. But it would be good for, I know that the van is really easy to drive. I don't mind driving it. However, I have scheduled, since the change of plans, I had already scheduled something for that Friday. So I'm going home Thursday night. I'm going to fly home Thursday night. So you'll have the van by yourself to drive home. The gymnasium, the middle school gymnasium is we're at this very close to getting it on the National Historic Registry, which allows us to get some grant funding for our gymnasium, which would help pay for some things for our gymnasium. The national group is coming out on that Friday, so I had arranged that and arranged for them to all be here, and I was facilitating that, and then for me not to show up would not be good, so that's why I'm going to fly home Thursday evening. But you will have the van, and it's comfortable to ride in. It's really comfortable to ride in, and you're welcome to take your spouses. I don't know that was your wife coming? You are, please, I will tell you that the room is a very nice room, and there's all kinds of downtown shopping, and I think Toby is bringing his wife. So I am not bringing Doug, because he's not gonna get to fly home, but certainly you could. It's Coeur d'Alene is fun, and then I do wanna, I'll send you out an email to kind of get your thoughts about Wednesday night dinner, because we're gonna take you out to dinner you guys do this for no pay. I think we can buy you a dinner. So, anyways.
You guys don't get paid?
The meeting, we should probably be there in Coeur d'Alene by noon, and I think it's 7 hours, 6.5, am I right?
Yeah.
So we'll probably have to leave about 4:35.
That sounds so.
Yeah, that's you can't put your seat back and lay down, so yeah. So
there's 5 of us.
there is
Going.
5 of us going, but
Six with
what's Toby's wife name? Dana's coming.
Oh, we better do the van.
Okay, I'll come in and get training then.
Yeah, the training, the video is about 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and the drive is about 15 minutes.
Okay.
You failed.
Just let us know. So one of us could come in.
Yeah.
But
I might do it on purpose. Okay.
well, if I feel you guys are gonna be up there, but you're gonna have no way back. You'll have the van and you.
I'll come in the next, I'll get with you and come in the next
Okay,
few days.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I needed, and probably I'll put out a little bit closer to going.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm done, I'm sorry. Yeah, and you don't have any citizen comment requests.
Okay, there's only one thing
I'll
left.
make a motion then.
Yes, and I've got cookies. I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and
Thank you.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
31.
Anybody want a treat?
Yes, yes.
What else do you think they stuck around for?